Welcome to Jackie's Craft Table. Hi, thanks for joining me for my first Halloween card video of 2017. I'm working with a new stamp set from My Favorite Things called Happy Haunting. I'm inking up my favorite of the 4 little trick-or-treaters. I love this little image of Frankenstein's monster and the sentiment, "Frankly, you are amazing." So that's what I'm going to be working on today. I'm stamping him out first onto some Nina Solar White 110-pound cardstock, and I'm going to color him in with my Copic markers. I'm starting out with my lightest colors first. I have my C2 marker, and then I'm gradually going to work up to my darkest colors. Next, I'm using my C4, which is the darkest of the cool grays that I own. So I'm going to go in with a Blick marker, and it's a dark gray. I want to be sure to leave a nice highlight in his hair, so I'm just doing flicking motions here. And then I go in with my middle color, my C4 again, and then lastly I blend everything together with my C2. I wanted his hair to be just a little bit darker, so I'm going to go back in with my W7, and that just makes it pop a little bit more. He's going to have green skin, of course, and I'm just using 2 markers to color him in. I'm using the dark marker first on his face, and then I'm going to be blending that out with the lighter marker. His skin and his shirt and pants are a lot more simple for me to color in, so I thought I'd go ahead and put the dark shadows in first and then just blend that out with the lighter color. So I don't usually mail out Halloween cards, but this year I am planning on it. Some of the sentiments in this set aren't necessarily Halloween sentiments. I think you could easily get away with using this stamp set all year round. There's a sentiment that says "you are super," and that goes along with the superhero image. And there's another sentiment that says "you are perfect," and it goes along with the little cat image. So I really think you could use these all year round. I'm going to fussy cut out my image, and then I can start on his background. The background panel is going to be a nighttime scene. I'm going to stamp out this little moon, but I want it to be covered with these clouds, so I'm going to stamp the clouds first. And then I'm going to create some masks for these clouds. I'm using some sticky notes for that. Just going to put them in place, and then I can position my moon. I think it's so cute how the moon is closing his eyes, sleeping. I just can't get over how cute this little set is. Then once I take my masks off, it looks like the clouds are in front of the moon, creating a spooky, overcast Halloween night. Partly overcast, anyway, because I want to stamp the stars that came in this set as well. I'm using some Versamark ink to stamp them out, and then I'm going to use some clear embossing powder over those. And I absolutely cannot see where I've stamped with this ink. So I stamp it once, and then I go ahead and pour the embossing powder over it, and then I can see where I've stamped. Once I have all of the stars on the panel, then I can go ahead and bring my heat tool to this and melt the embossing powder. Even then, it's still kind of hard to see the stars. I'm going to use some distress inks to color in this background. And I'm putting the masks back over the clouds so I can kind of color in this little moon. And I'm not worried about staying within the lines because I want it to look like it's a glowing moon. Once I add my black distress ink, then the stars start popping out and you can see those better. For this panel, I used the Bristol Smooth cardstock. It's just easier to blend on this cardstock. It has kind of a coating on it. I'm just using a little tissue now to wipe off the distress ink from my stars, and that really makes them pop. Now I can remove my masks. I'm going to use my gray Copic marker again, the C2, and just very carefully add a little bit of dimension to this cloud. I don't want to get any distress ink on this Copic marker. I'm going to heat set this so the ink is completely dry, and then I'm going to use one of my frame die cuts. I'm cutting out a cute scalloped frame for this card. I want the frame to be just a little bit darker, so I'm going in with my black distress ink again and just going over that. I'm using a little scrap piece of paper to hold on to the frame because I don't want to get my fingerprints into the ink. And then I wipe off the stars one more time on this frame with my tissue. I pulled out a piece of black craft foam so that I can give the frame of this card some dimension. So I'm using the same frame die that I used on the card panel, and I'm going to keep that in place so that I can glue the paper frame onto that with some multimedia matte glue. It's a really strong glue. It's such a thin frame that this technique helps you to keep it perfectly aligned and its shape rectangular. I'm going to let that dry while I prepare my card base. I made up a black card base for this card. It's a standard size card, which is 5.5 by 4.25. And I'm going to adhere some pattern paper first. And I'm going to let the black of the card peek out from behind this cardstock. I'm using this frame for the third time to cut out some white cardstock. And what I'm attempting to do here is to add some more dry adhesive to this. I'm going to adhere this to the inside of my card. I could have left it black and used a white gel pen to write my message in the card, but I just thought it was a cute touch to put this scalloped die cut on the inside. I just love this orange pattern paper I found for this card. And now that my frame is dry, I'm going to add some more multimedia matte adhesive. And adhere this onto my pattern paper. Now I can pop in my background panel. The multimedia matte glue hasn't dried yet on my card, so it does wiggle a little bit, but I managed to get it on there straight. And now I'm going to use some foam tape to pop up my little character. I have to cut some of the foam tape into little bits because I want the little image completely covered. Now, I was debating what to do with the sentiment. It's such a cute sentiment that I wanted it to really stand out on the card. So I stamped it out with some black ink onto some more white cardstock. And I'm just going to add some dry adhesive and place that in the corner of my card. And that completes my card. Oh, and one more thing, I'm going to add a sentiment on the inside of this card as well. And it says, "Happy Haunting." So this Halloween card was a lot of fun to make. Please like, subscribe, and share this video on your favorite social media. I'm sure you'll be seeing more Halloween cards from me in the future. In the meantime, I hope you all get a chance to sit down and craft up some Halloween cards as well. Thanks for watching. Bye.